Coffee Club, Coffee Club. Grind your beans and grab your favorite mug. It's Ollie, Morgan, George, and Gus. It's them boys from Coffee Club. Boys from Coffee Club.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Coffee Club podcast for episode 164. No Ollie today because he is still on his vacation in Hawaii. He'll be back in a few days, and next week he'll be back on the show. But standing in, we have our very own, what is this, 6-7 time repeat guest, Mr. Joe Klecker.
Yeah, losing count.
I think it is 5, 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I said something about, I feel like I said 6 this morning when I was just guessing. It's up there.
It's a lot.
Back again.
Quarterly
Yeah,
episode.
it's kind of quarterly.
It felt like it had been too long. So very happy to have Joe on the show today. We're just going to be catching up. Like it was a very exciting weekend, this past weekend of results. And so we do have a lot of catching up to do. And then at the end, I think we'll get a bit more into specifically the changes with Joe with the move to the roads, which I'm part of that journey right now. So we can preview Houston and all that a little bit. But before we do get into it, our merch is still on sale and holiday shipping. You can still get your order in by the 16th, and with expedited shipping within the US, you can still get it. And sometimes it's actually not that expensive. So check that out. And thank you so much to everyone who has bought the stuff so far. We do appreciate it a lot. And also another final shout out for Artiken. They're still also selling the OAC bracelets. Did you see that Yared wears all 3?
Yeah.
I respect that a lot. I didn't realize
From every year of
Every OAC year.
year
Yeah.
10, he's going to just have him like all the way up his arm.
I was like, I respect that a lot. That's
Artiken,
cool.
great stocking stuffer. Coffee
Yeah.
Club beanie, Coffee Club hat, great
Yeah.
stocking stuffers.
There's some good stuff in there.
So-
I think everyone would appreciate to get. So yeah, and one thing that we did just want to cover in the opening before we get into the meat of this episode. Last week, a couple of people, rightly so, I'd say, called us out in the comments for when we discussed the World Athletics Awards. Somehow it slipped our minds. Well, we know how it slipped our minds because we were focused on the men a lot. As per usual, we were talking about the fact that if any male had gotten 2 gold medals, then sure, they would have won. And we didn't even mention the potential controversy with Sydney McLaughlin winning and the fact that Beatrice Chibet got overlooked, and she had one of the most historic years of all time for a distance runner on the track, winning the 5K, 10K double at the Olympics, as well as breaking the 10K record, running 28:54, I think is what she ran. So apologies to not mentioning that, because that is very significant, and we
Definitely sounds worthy.
that's an argument to be had.
Yeah.
Sydney McLaughlin,
World record in the
but it's
Olympic
almost
final.
it's almost similar to kind of what you were saying, like it was so hard for Mondo to win the overall one because all he does is pole vault.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess Sydney McLaughlin did also have some really impressive other performances than 200 and the 400. But yeah, the criteria is
Mondo also does the 100.
yeah, he should have got it for that. But
Was Sydney on the 4x4?
oh, surely
That
she
one?
was.
She
I feel like it was an
she must have been,
all-star.
right?
Yeah.
It was the all-star 4x4, but they probably don't count that. I mean, they probably do actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I forgot that Gabby Thomas wasn't she on both relays or
Mm.
something? Because
She won 3 golds.
I watched Sprint, the new season of it, and she was talking about how she got 3 gold medals. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she showed up and she had 3 gold medals, and I was like, oh, the relays, of course.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cheat code if you're part of the US and you're at that level. But
Yeah.
good for her. But yeah, honestly, Beatrice Chibet, kind of a snub there. I can understand why Sydney McLaughlin got it. Breaking the world record in the Olympic final, I think, is always going to be one of the most legendary things that you can ever do in our sport. But yeah, it was. It just resulted in the fact that she didn't get one mention, because if Sydney was going to win the overall athlete, then she also had to win the track athlete. So it's kind of a shame that. But on to the action from this past weekend. I think we're going to start off with the Eurocross, which took place in Antalya in Turkey, and it was really
Looks
exciting.
muddy.
Yeah, it was as always a very hard cross country course. They do them I think most of their courses are like pretty much purpose built, and they purposely put this mud in. Did either of you guys watch any of the clips from any of the races or anything?
I just saw some of the photos of the mud and looked at the results, and kind of the names you'd expect are up top.
Yeah, it was some stacked races across the board. I'm very jealous that like the Europeans get to go and compete in this thing, like, and it's every single year as well. I woke up on Sunday morning to watch Sinta race, and it was very exciting. The Italians got it done, I think, for the second time. They won the mixed relay title, taking the W over France and the UK. Sinta ran a pretty good leg. I mean, a really good leg. She was like the third leg, handed off to Pietro Arese, and then it was a pretty sick race because it was like all three top teams were still in it with 400 to go, and it was a big kick down. So that was cool. And then Jakob just looking amazing as per usual, taking down like these amazing 5K, 10K, half marathoners. He looks so smooth. I don't know how, but he looks so smooth on the grass and the mud. So it's very exciting to watch that. And then
Because he ran through it first before it gets
before
muddy.
it got worse,
Yeah.
that actually makes
Yeah,
a lot of
everyone behind
sense.
him had to go through the
Yeah,
all roughed up mud.
yeah.
In front of Cripper, and who was third?
Thierry.
Yeah,
I think-
And then
Yeah,
and then fourth was Kameli, Isaac
Oh,
Kameli,
yeah.
Belgium.
And then
Yeah,
Almgren.
and then Almgren.
Yeah.
So it's
bunch
pretty,
of 26
Stacked.
something guys.
That
in the
top
10K.
5 is really good.
Stacked on the men's side. The women's side, kind of a big comeback race for Coco.
Mhm.
She got second. Nadia got the dub, which I think wasn't that surprising considering she
No.
medaled in the Olympics.
Was the Norwegian Grovdal,
Okay.
was she in there?
Yeah.
I didn't see
Caroline Grovdal, right?
Yeah.
I heard that she was supposed to be more of a factor.
Yeah, I didn't
You would
actually
think
see
so.
her in the results or anything, so I'm
Okay.
not sure what happened because I think she was defending winning a few times
Right?
in a row.
Yeah.
So I think she was the other big name. But yeah, I didn't even see her in the. in the
Maybe she
final
didn't run
results.
because, yeah, you'd expect her to be for sure competing
Yeah.
up there.
You never know. But yeah, sick talent at Europeans and
Jakob
Oh.
must be in good shape.
yeah.
Was his next race world record attempt? That's the rumor.
Is it really?
What event?
Indoor 5K or something?
What is that record? Like
It's actually
12:28?
No, it's actually
not that crazy.
I don't think
like
it's even-
12:50.
Yeah, right under 12:47, 12:48.
Really?
You and Woody were close to it.
Yeah,
You guys were
yeah.
actually close to it.
Woody's 12:51 is like, I think it's top 10 all time.
Wow.
It definitely is.
Yeah,
It's
it's just,
where
I guess not.
do you know where he's going to go for it?
I think in the US.
Boston?
I think so.
Wait, really?
Valentine?
Jakob
No.
is going to race at BU?
No, not BU.
Oh,
I think
then-
New Balance Boston.
Oh, I don't know about that track.
I
Like,
mean,
I don't know.
some people say it's
That's the
not
new
super
track,
fast,
yeah.
but
Yeah. Probably doesn't matter for him.
but he looks like he's in pretty good shape. So
Dude,
Wow.
BU would be so sick if it was just like he's just like, with the 10,000 college kids and then his heat rolls up and
Can you imagine how
remember when
loud it would be in
Kajalcha
there?
was attempting world records at BU?
yeah.
Wait,
Uh,
not even attempting. That is still a
Yeah,
world record.
and Gillen Rupp's year
Yeah.
of
And Cheserick.
Cheserick.
Those are all legendary videos.
The
online.
Ches race was crazy. Like, it was all set up for he was the only finisher, right?
Yeah, I think he was.
Wasn't, well, because he did it at the college level, and then I think, did Ches also try to do it as a pro? Because do you remember?
He ran 3:49 as a pro somewhere.
Wow. Johnny G ran
Yes,
really fast.
3:49.
Behind Cheserick, I think.
Yeah.
I think he was behind Ches. Or was it
I just
behind
remember the
Yoma?
race had
Yoma.
so
Am
many
getting
paces.
I feel like
confused?
that was the Kajalcha race.
That was Yoma. I might be.
Johnny
getting
ran
confused.
3:49.
Okay.
It's still too long ago now.
Yeah.
Jingy at BU, that'd be that'd be so funny.
Man, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
He could run. I don't even want to know what he could run at BU.
Break 12:30. Like, how could you not? Like, that guy.
Imagine if he actually did that. I mean, the thing is,
I
he
mean, it's so
probably
much
could.
faster than, like, outdoor.
Yeah. He literally
It's just so much
could.
more reliable than outdoor.
Yeah, reliable.
That's like the main one.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't need a pacemaker. Like, obviously, good
I really
pacemaking
think,
helps
like-
a lot, but
Well, apparently the track has like the track and New Balance has wave lights, which is also
Really?
yeah.
I always tell
think-
people the fitness I was in when I ran 12:55 outdoor, if I put that on BU, like, I was so much fitter than when I ran 12:54 indoor.
yeah,
It wasn't even close.
makes sense. Yeah, it's hard to comprehend that, but yeah, I mean, we saw it just this past weekend. I think you're always shocked by the results of BU, but yeah, it really just is amazing setup, amazing environment, and it's just the reality is it's just harder to run outdoors than it is there.
Yeah.
Outdoors
Because of the variables.
yeah, all these variables.
Yeah.
It's a lot more difficult. So, wow, I do hope that we get to see Jakob over for a US indoor season. I don't think, has he ever done US indoors before? I remember that one year Philip showed up to Melrose.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was 2019?
I
'Cause
was
you
in
were
that race.
Yeah.
I was in the 3K. I remember seeing him at the hotel.
Or was it?
Gerd.
I think it was right
2020.
before COVID. I think it was 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So cool.
Wonder what Melrose, surely they like send a message to Jakob every year. Be like, all right.
Yeah. Well, one year at Fifth Ave, I remember there was an Ingebrigtsen bib at Fifth Ave.
Really?
Yeah. But obviously
They weren't there.
Yeah, no, he didn't run, but it was funny just seeing it.
Just in case they had one ready to go.
Yeah.
If he was going to turn up late. Fair enough.
Surely he will do a big indoor season after not getting any indoors last year.
What's his normal indoor season? It's normally just like 2
Leaving.
races.
Always leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Worlds or Europeans.
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder if he'll try to do the double this year.
European indoor?
Yeah, because this year, I don't think this normally happens. I could be wrong. But Europeans and Worlds is both on 2 weeks apart.
And then
Netherlands
Worlds
to
outdoor
China.
is so much later. It's like, you might as well.
You can send it in indoors this year
Yeah.
if you want to. But it is going to be tough travel, I think. But I guess it's doable.
Is it World Indoors in China?
China.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting who shows up to that one. That's a little more difficult of a trip compared to, was it Edinburgh?
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Glasgow,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. And I guess we'll just briefly, we're not going to go into too much depth. We'll let Ollie give a big recap next week about his whole Hawaii trip. But the Merrie Mile was on Saturday morning, and it was, as per usual, an exciting race.
I want to. Did you see the coverage? Like the drone
Yeah.
footage?
It was,
Yeah.
it was
It's
great.
actually really sick.
I was like, I was split on it because I couldn't, I liked some of it, but then also at times I found it really hard to be able to comprehend the difference between the women and the, like, they didn't have a good camera angle oftentimes that showed both of them.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really
You didn't know
tell
how
if
far
they were
apart.
catching them or not.
I was more just like admiring like the scenery, like
Yeah.
like the landscape shots of like the waves, and that just looked like a freaking beautiful morning.
It's just
in
cool
Hawaii.
for like a road mile, you know, to put that level of effort into
Yeah.
having a stream that's not just like an iPhone footage on the back of a like lead vehicle. It's pretty cool.
Definitely wasn't perfect, but I thought it was pretty sweet, and they made it look really cool.
Yeah.
So many
Did a
people
good
out
job.
there.
And everyone was very hyped for Nikki to get the dub
Yeah.
over a very fast finishing Hobbs. That's kind of like what I would have liked captured really well was like there was kind of the moment where you're like, is they going to catch him? And then you're like, oh shit, Hobbs has to run through this whole pack of like
4. He had to go around 4 athletes in a row, like side by side. He
Yeah.
had to go so wide.
Well, it's hard because I think at least how it was when I was there with Sage, the prize money is not like men's and women's. It's just
Yeah. It's
overall.
It's just
It's
first
still
and
like
so I
that.
think
finishes.
when I was there, only men got prize money,
I
which
think
is like-
almost every year.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
which like a lot of people are going there because it's like a nice vacation and stuff. But still, it's like,
Dude, it's legit money. $7,500.
is that how much?
That's how much it was
Wow.
this year.
Well, it's good
I-
to see that it's actually like they got the stagger right.
Well,
and it
what was it 32 seconds?
32, but this is the first year the women have had a pacer.
what was it last
That's
year? When
Okay,
normally-
I
that's
didn't
normally
like that
been-
either.
That's normally been the issue.
Both of them had paces.
the
the
men
men?
always
Yeah,
Did.
Abe Alvarado.
Yeah, they both did. But because the women normally just don't go out hard enough and the men catch them because the men have like get to chase them the whole way.
What was the stagger last year when you ran?
30.
I honestly can't remember.
I think it was an extra 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm
was
pretty
it
sure.
2 seconds?
Yeah, I think they added 2 seconds on. I didn't like when I saw the paces lined up. I just felt like that takes away from the spirit of a road mile a little bit.
I didn't like that either.
Yeah, especially in this type of race where it's like,
Yeah, like that's what the race is. Like you
yeah,
gotta go
it's like
for
you
it.
got to close that gap or you got to hold off
Yeah.
the chasers.
And the times with like those paces, but the times were still not that crazy. I think
Yard
the
would
women-
run a bit fast. Yards was way faster.
well,
they-
I think
three-
Yard was the same, but I
356.
think the
exact
Oh,
same
is that
time.
what his? Okay.
but I
Yeah.
think the women's record is on that course. I think is 4:23, like something pretty quick. And I think this year the time was 4:28 or
I think
something.
it was 4:28.
So it's still like they didn't like break the record, or even though there was a pacer,
Mm.
it was still I think a time that they would normally pretty close to what they would normally expect, especially because this year the women's field was just so stacked.
Yeah.
You really with a bunch of like 355.
Yeah, it was crazy how good it was. So, but yeah, they were very hyped that finally, like, it was not just like all men on the podium. So it was cool. It did make for a very exciting race overall, and I think the only national record was Jack Ansey.
Jake Anstey
Breaking his own
his
record.
own Australian record.
Yeah. Probably has a nice bonus for that. So
Yeah.
good for him. Get some money from that. Nice little trip. And now, is he on to race the New Zealand one as well? I don't remember if you mentioned him.
Don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, a bunch of them are
You
now
think so?
going from Hawaii to New Zealand, which is probably still not
Just
that
the
close,
vacation
really.
tour.
Yeah,
probably-
it really is. Yeah, I don't know. At least Neil has been announced. I
Yeah.
thought Vince was also going.
Sophie.
I'm pretty sure Haas is. Oh yeah, Sophie Sullivan, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Haas is going down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lucky him.
The amount of people Haas takes to Hawaii, that's a great tradition. Just team
Mhm.
tradition. You go to Hawaii every December.
It's great, like, if you're racing and you're not having to train a ton. I think that
Yeah.
it's hard because,
I mean, the amount you guys are training at the moment.
yeah, like
Doing that in
when I went with
Hawaii.
Sage, I was running like 110 miles that week around this grass loop, and it was fun, like being in Hawaii. But
Oh, the running.
Sage asked me to go, like she was going to run the mile this year, and she decided not to. But she asked me to go, and I was just like, I can't. Like
The good thing about last year was that they redid the hotel gym, so they had really nice treadmills.
our hotel
and
gym, we had to walk to a neighboring hotel.
Because they were fixing
Yeah.
it up, so then it was done. Yeah, But I
I
ran on the treadmill so much.
I literally had that thought because like when we weren't sure exactly when Ollie was getting back, and then when I found out he's getting back on Wednesday, I'm like, wait, so he has to do his long
He's
run
doing
in
a-
Hawaii?
Yeah,
I
Well,
wonder-
long run you could like maybe do on like sidewalks and stuff up around like
You go
what is the
exploring.
big volcano thing?
Yeah,
It's not a huge loop, but
the loop. I mean, from the hotel
it's
around
like
the
5.
it was like 5 or 6 miles.
Yeah.
I had a 10-mile like a Monday run before I left, and I just ran on like the highway,
Yeah,
which like had some sick views,
Mhm.
but it was just on the shoulder of a very busy road.
yeah. It was funny when I was there. Like Centro was there as well, and like I felt like I was just crazy. You're doing like 12 miles on the treadmill, and then like night runs on the treadmill, and like to him it just was like, oh yeah,
This is
That's-
normal.
just normal. Like just shows like how much, I don't know.
That's
I was
how they
like-
do it.
That's just how they do it, you know.
But where do you guys know where Bauman stayed when they went there pre-Olympics and before
It's-
Tokyo?
They were in Honolulu, I think.
So they're in the same place.
Yeah.
Did they go to the army base? a bunch or
No,
something?
they were at like a private high school or something. The army base was sick. Emily Lapari was able to get Sage and I onto this army base track, and there were some sweet trails, great place to work out, which made it like actually pretty good to train. But you can't just like go on it. You have to be with someone who has access.
Makes sense.
I wonder if anyone will do Hawaii this year before Tokyo again. Like, I mean, that's how they did it last year.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I don't think we're doing that.
No.
Spoiler.
I think we're
going
Spoiler. I
Colorado.
think we're not doing.
Colorado to Tokyo.
the weather would be perfect. It's just the running there is just not quite good enough.
It seems like if you're gonna go, you may as well go the whole way too.
Yeah.
Because like it's still not like, it's close to time zone, but if you're gonna go for time zone, you may as well just go the whole way.
Yeah, and isn't it still like an 8-hour flight
It's got to be pretty fast
to
still.
Japan, or at least to Australia? I think it's still like 8
It's
or
still
9.
far
Yeah.
for sure. I would be pumped if we somehow had a good setup to do a training camp in Japan somewhere before
Mhm.
Tokyo.
I feel like I've heard that.
There's
I've heard that
probably-
rumor.
There's got to be amazing spots.
Yeah.
Right? We go to that lake that all the Ikeden teams go to.
Yeah.
There's like some altitude. Well, maybe it won't be hot enough up there though. Who
True.
knows?
True.
But the New Zealand Mile is this weekend that they are going down for. So hopefully there's also good footage of that.
What's the name of it again?
Sunday, I think. Sunday night. It's called The Spectacle.
The Spectacle. Yeah, that'll be a good one. And you just mentioned that, I don't know, if that was before the pod, right? That Stewie's racing in as well.
Yeah, Stewie got announced.
Yeah, so good field.
That'd be cool.
Tanner is definitely running. I'm sure he wouldn't miss that.
Is he just been in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm surprised he doesn't do the Hawaii Mile, actually.
Yeah.
He seems like the kind of guy.
he's really quieted down. Like, he used to do everything. I guess he got injured, didn't he? Maybe since that he doesn't do quite as much traveling and racing.
Had a bunch of Achilles problems this year,
Yeah.
pre/post
Might be it.
Olympics. But he seems healthy now.
Might be it. But on to the first weekend of BU action, I think everyone knew that it was going to be crazy, as it has become in these last few years. But I don't think many people expected it to be quite this crazy. I know I didn't. I was on my computer just diddly-daddling around, just hanging out, and then I just check the results, and I just see they ran 7:30, and I just close and I go, oh, okay, that's cool. Just feel like, fuck, I got to go train now or something. So it was, just absolutely wild once again. Starting off with I think the men's 3K, because for us that's the one that hits the closest to home. We had the UNC boys, Ethan Strand getting the dub over Parker, both running 7:30, and then Yassine 7:34, Gary Martin 7:36, all under the old collegiate record. Shout out to Adam Spencer 7:40, breaking what was previously my Wisconsin record in the indoor 3K. But yeah, just college kids running 7:30. How does that make you feel?
7:30.1.
Yeah. Oof. 7:29 just would have hit. Like.
Yeah. Do you imagine if college kid ran 7? Is that better than 12:59?
Yeah.
It seemed better than Blanks' just because we expected it out of him more. But is it actually harder?
I think if you look at the number of people.
I think 7:30 and 13 flat are actually pretty similar though.
Okay.
I like just in terms of.
I don't know. When Yard ran 27,
28.
28. Was that the same race same weekend I ran 12:54? That just seems so much crazier.
You think so? I don't think as many people try to run under 7:30 as try to break 13.
True.
So I think that's kind of part of it as well.
Yeah.
The world record, well, like now Jakob's world record's ridiculous, but
yeah, that changes.
Like 12:35, that's 25 seconds faster than 30 minutes. 7:20, now it's 17, whatever that. 13 seconds under 7:30.
Yeah, probably is pretty
but
similar.
Then you do the conversion for distance. It is kind of similar.
Maybe.
Yeah. But I think you're right.
ballpark.
I think you're right. When more people go to BU, I think to like run fast 5Ks.
Yeah. To break 13, but yeah, I mean, credit to.
I don't think I knew who Ethan Strand was until like USA's this last year.
Really?
I didn't know who he was till this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't.
Like he made the final in the 1500, which I feel like that was like the first time I was like, there's some good UNC kid.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's just.
I just heard that.
Incredible.
Didn't they get NILs? It was like.
Yeah,
it was like Parker and the other UNC kid, but now he's 7:30.
No,
I mean that's like not a diss. That's like
no, that's
like
just shows how crazy the NCAA is.
Yeah, and then I mean he did get 11th or whatever it was in something around that in cross. So clearly he was fit. And then I don't know, doesn't it make you? It kind of like makes you realize how good cross country strength is. You know, like because now they're going to go on and they're going to train more track specific, but. Like it's not like they're gonna get. It's not like they're gonna get that much faster.
I feel like we say this every year.
Yeah,
like,
no.
People run so good off like full fitness.
I think though the one thing that they will change by NCAAs in their fitness is the ability to like close in 55. Like
which they
close in 54.
Ethan and that. Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm thinking about Graham closing like 60. I mean, he's on such a fast pace, but no, I mean, it is crazy.
They get sharper.
Yeah, they get a little sharper, but yeah, they're not gonna get like.
Yeah, the difference is not running 12:59; it's running 13:20 with a
2:26 last K or something.
Yeah.
So maybe you're actually less fit, but you're slightly faster.
Yeah, but the 3K is crazy off cross. Like 5K cross country, it's very in line. But the 3K, like 7:30, you think, okay, to run 7:30, I need to be training like a miler.
Well, that was the thing. I listened to the post-race interview, and they hadn't. They did one track session, I think, in between like cross and the race. And I don't even know if in that track session they touched a 60-second 400. Maybe they did a little bit. But at most, they did one session that included race pace work.
Yeah.
So just.
That's,
I think, yeah.
It just shows more and more that I don't think you need to replicate, like, you don't need to think like, okay, this is like a race workout. We're going to simulate the race in a workout. It just. No one does that. You don't need to do it. Like this weekend showed.
I think so indeed. And I wonder if Ethan will do it. He said maybe, but Parker for sure is going to try to run a quick 5K as well because he's going to be going for the 3K 5K double, and it just makes sense that in January he'll be in like probably the quick a race with actual other pros.
Yeah,
it's a little more deep.
Let's go back up to BU.
He'll go to break 13 as well.
I mean, I think that's why Milt said he ran the 3K instead of the 5, which maybe people would have expected him to run the 5 with Graham, was that he'd missed some training before cross.
Wow, that's even crazier to think. Like, I remember that going into
during
cross,
cross,
he was injured a little
No,
bit.
I
He
think
said
it
he
was
missed 3
during
weeks.
cross because do you remember how the season played out? He won. He kind of dominated the first meet at Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think it was after that he got
It
hurt.
was, yeah.
So that's not that long ago.
No, not. It was. He missed like supposedly 3 weeks or something leading up to NCAA.
He's
So maybe he
too
wasn't
big.
ready to do a 5.
It's just crazy. These
but
guys
means he
coming
definitely
up.
do one, and
Wow.
Yeah.
and that apparently is now the world standard. I only know that because
7:31
of
flat.
Strand's
nice.
quote.
That's
to
sweet.
run.
Yeah.
I wonder
World
they
indoors.
won't try and run world indoors, will they?
No, I think that's impossible.
Unless
Seems
they
unlikely.
unless they just go pro like Graham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, so Graham, epic race. It was he had some really good pacemaking. So shout out to the paces. It was, Anthony was one. I can't remember who the first one was, but it was a very big effort from him to get under 13. He had to work very hard in the last couple of K. Got it done 12:59, which was pretty awesome to see. But then just today, the news broke that he's still in school for one more semester, but he's foregoing his eligibility to go pro with New Balance, which I was really surprised about it. And now that I've like reflected on it a little bit, I'm like, it kind of makes sense, and I think it's a smart decision for him. But at the same time, I'm a bit bummed out because it would have been good to see how he would tackle these upcoming NCAA races. Just his skill set matched
Parker
up against
and
these other
Ethan
guys.
and all those other
So,
Yeah, I think financially it seems like a good decision. Well, I mean, it's obviously the New Balance thing seemed wrapped up either way, but it seems like he's just at a peak right now. 2-time NCAA cross champ and now a 12:59. Like he can only really lose value just by losing to Parker or someone else.
Not
like
even
how many good people there are.
Not even just financially. Like he made the Olympics. He's done back-to-back cross is just unbelievable. Like what would he gain from doing?
And now maybe he
NCAA?
can focus more on actual worlds.
Yeah, world indoors or the 10K or winning another title is great right now. But like he could potentially, he's in a fitness right now to do things that are going to be like meaningful for the rest of his career. Like look at you go to world indoors and say you do something crazy. You're going to remember that forever. Like he has all these titles in NCAA. Like,
well, my counter, like my opposite viewpoint was that, and like I don't disagree with you. Like if I was in his position, I would probably do it as well. But I was like, well, he's going to have a lot of years as a pro, but he would only have one more semester as a college kid. And he hasn't won any track titles yet. And he has a lot of pride, like wearing his Harvard vest. So I almost was like, I could have seen him being the type of guy that was more along the lines of like, I want to bring some more titles to Harvard and all that. And like, I want to prove myself. Because, the reality is you look at him right now and you're asking the question, how is he going to beat Parker?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how is he going to beat all like these other guys? Like, how is he going to beat them? See, I could see him being the type of guy who's like, he's aware of those questions. Is like, no, I'm going to like find a way to do it.
Yeah.
So
Right, third option, New Balance are the bad guys, and they've actually come along and said,
He already had an NIL too.
I know, but they don't wear anything New Balance. Like Harvard jersey and Nike spikes.
Yeah, I see where you're going with this one.
So maybe this is like I'm just hypothesizing. New Balance come in and said, we'll give you a little extra if you go pro now, and then every race from now on, you'll be a New Balance.
Yeah.
I.e. the 10, which is...
Yeah, maybe he negotiated like, hey, I want to go for the NCAA record in a Harvard kit one more time in the 5K, which he was close to getting. Maybe that could have...
Yeah. But I do think that he did say this in his interview. He wants to be a 5K, 10K runner. And the reality of being a 10K runner right now in this current day and age is you essentially have to line up at the 10 in March. And like with the college schedule, you can do it. Like a couple of kids did it last year, but it's not ideal, especially with how big hard the competition now. It's not really what you want. So if you do want to be a 5K, 10K runner peaking in September, you want your schedule to be selective.
Yeah.
That standard stayed the same, right?
Yeah, 27 flat. So, if he's like eyeing that, it's just like you have to be, everything has to be going very well to go do that. Like it's not like a 5K. You can just go after it another week or something. The 10K, it's kind of sound running. Other than that, very rare.
Is Parker and strand, are they juniors or
Both seniors, at least indoors. Yeah,
seniors.
I actually think this might be the last one.
Okay, so wow, this is going to be a crazy class. This is a crazy class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the men's side.
Wait,
Unreal.
10Ks. Is Zatopek 10K? Is that coming up?
Also, is that like this weekend?
That must be actually.
Is it?
Forgot about
I
that.
wonder if it's like fast this year.
That's an on event, right?
Yeah, on track nights. Well, I'm not sure if they call it that anymore, but I believe it is still an on event. It looks like I have seen some cool stuff around it, like with the OAC, Oceania, are obviously all showing up and going to be racing there. But it's just hard to get. Like growing up, it was always a really big race. As an Aussie athlete or probably as a Kiwi as well, to like
wasn't there always
watch.
a big junior 3K?
There was a big junior 3K. Did you ever? You didn't race it?
I just knew about it.
I got my butt kicked in it like twice. Like I never ran well there. But yeah, it was cool because it was always big, like on both men's and women's. Like under 20 was the 3K. Yeah, like the best junior race of the year apart from nationals. And then it was the 10Ks. And it was just really hard for, like, it would always be the top Australians, and then they would normally bring over a couple of Kenyans. That would make it a good race, and like they would be able to run really fast. There were some years where I think Galen Rupp went down 1 year.
Wow.
I think Jerry's guys went down 1 year. Maybe Legat. But yeah, generally like it's just tough to get people to go. Like it's the start of December.
Yeah.
Trip to Australia, it's tough. So I think this year will probably just be like
And
the
it's
Aussies.
summer down there. Like, is it hot? It's hot.
It's hot.
So like a 10K.
I mean the race is late at night.
Yeah.
really late.
Yeah, but it can be hot. It's in Melbourne, which isn't quite as hot as some other parts, or most other parts, I guess, of Australia. But yeah, I messaged Kai. So Kai went back to Australia a couple of days ago, and I messaged him, how is he going? And he just said, I'm overheating. Because it's been like 40 degrees Celsius. It's been like really hot, like in Sydney at least.
Jesus.
My mom was saying. So, yeah. But there has been some crazy, on a bit of a side note, some crazy results, because I think it must have been all schools just happened, which is like one of our national championships for the juniors. And did you see
Gao?
Dude, which apparently is not how you say his name, or not what his name is. Apparently, like I need to learn more about this. But when they came over from, I don't know if it was Sudan.
I'm pretty sure.
I think there was like a translation error. So it's not actually what his name is, but I need to get that right eventually. But he just had pulled off the craziest double ever. He's still 16. He's only 16 years old, and he just ran 10:04 with 3.4. I think it was wind. So that one doesn't count. But then he also ran 20:04, which is the Oceania record.
Yeah.
He's 16. He has like the record.
Wow.
Apparently that was the oldest Australian record in the books.
Peter Norman.
It was like 50 something years old.
Mexico City. I'm pretty sure. What was that, like 68 or something?
Yeah, sounds right.
Where was he? Why am I just hearing about him?
Well, he's so young.
Yeah.
He's only 16.
I definitely remember hearing his name last season.
Well,
he was doing something last season.
He's kind of like, you might have seen him in the last year because like the videos of him running are just like, they go viral because he's like last year he was 15 and his style is like, he looks like Usain Bolt. Like he just
it's great to watch.
Just flying.
Just flying. And so these videos like blow up. So last year he started getting like popular. And yeah, I still didn't like realize how good he was, I would say. And now.
Yeah, at 16 to do that is just nuts.
Yeah. And he's just. Yeah.
That's the Tokyo standard too. I had to look that up.
Is it really?
What is
Yeah,
this?
and
The
It's like 20.15 or something. So
Sheesh.
20 is.
so he'll make the Australian team then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one else must be running that fast, right?
No, I mean, he broke the record, and he's already. I mean, he'll be one of the biggest stars like on the Australian team come Tokyo, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If he just continues to do what
Continues
he's doing,
blowing up, yeah.
like because especially when you're that young and you're doing stuff at that level, and the Olympics isn't for another 4 years. Everyone's like, we'll be hyping him up for the next 4 years until the Olympics. Like he's
It's true.
I think he's already a household name pretty much in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's that famous with what he's doing.
Is there a World Indoor 200? Or do they just go 60 and 400? Why am I?
I don't think so.
NCA's has an indoor team for sure.
But
I don't know.
Such a good question.
I don't know why I can't think of that right now.
Such a good
Something
question.
tells me there's not. But I was trying to imagine him on an indoor track.
It might be like unsafe to have like that much speed going around.
Maybe
those
that's why they
turns.
don't.
But then even like the 400, and you watch it, and
it's
like
crazy.
this doesn't look safe.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, they have to cut in
Yeah.
as well in that. Like,
That's crazy.
so, yeah. I'm not sure. That's a good question though. We'll have to get our listeners to let us know.
Yeah, that's crazy. He's running that fast in December. I mean, that's obviously the track season down there, but still.
Yeah, he's just 16, so he's just doing like the normal
Yeah.
school
Yeah.
races.
Literally.
It's just like on a completely different calendar, but he's just doing them at a very different level to what you would normally see.
My
So,
God.
yeah, unreal. He's so exciting to watch. Back to BU, the women's 3K was won by the Union Athletic Club rookie, Bailey. I always get her last name wrong. Hertenstein. Is that it, Joe? I don't
Could be.
I don't know. I just
Just
looked
because I
at
went to
'cause
see
you
you,
went
I
to
don't,
see
I don't know
you.
everyone's name, but
8:45, which is cool. But the main reason I bring this up is because there was an interesting moment in her post race interview where she it seemed like she leaked that Yassine has joined UAC, and then immediately like Jonathan God asked her so who's your training partners, and she said, oh, it's just she's like it's just Suguru and Yassine. And then he's like, wait, what was that name? He's like, Yassine Abdullah? Yeah.
wait, is he
And-
still in college?
He goes to Arkansas.
Right.
And
Where does she train?
here in Boulder.
Oh.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why it's confusing. And then I don't want to I don't know what's going on here. I have no clue really. So I don't want to try and get I don't know how to explain this. But then immediately Jonathan Galt is interviewing Yassine, and he's like, so Bailey just told me that you're training with the Union Athletic Club. And then Yassine's like, I don't know what she's talking about. And then he said something about the Arkansas training. I don't know. It was just a funny moment that someone
We'll
on
have
the
to see how it unfolds.
That is funny.
has to get to the bottom of that, because it was just, what's going on there?
So Guru's been training in Boulder?
Yeah,
He
I saw him
bought
at
a
the
house.
track right by my
Mhm.
house.
Yeah.
Photo
Nice.
of him on the track, but
Yeah. I think they train at Niwot quite a bit. And they go to, Bailey said they train at turf fields as well, but I don't know which ones that would be.
hopefully the one's by my house.
True, it probably is actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is crazy that group just moved to Boulder and doesn't have anyone really part of it yet, apart from those three or two.
That we know of.
Yeah.
Be cool once they get going.
Yeah. It'd be cool to have some other pro runners here. We'll see what happens. But yeah, the women's 5K NCAA's BU was also an NCAA record. Doris getting it done, the XE champ, 14:52, which I think Parker had also run 14:52, so I think it was a very close
Yeah, that record didn't last long.
Yeah. But it was just
Is that a world standard or no?
asking a good question.
I think it's around there.
It's right on. It's in the 50s. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the Australian indoor short track record got broken by Amy Bunnage, I think her name is. The first time I ever saw her race was NCAA's, where she was she like fifth, something very,
Fourth.
very fourth.
Yeah.
Very impressive. And then she went on to just run 15 flat. So
Wow.
it just
It's really good.
shows, I mean, just across the board, we see BU 2 weeks after NCAA's, and you just see what form people have to be in these days.
Did you ever do a post-NCAA race?
No, it didn't really exist. It didn't. It,
it
didn't
was
exist. in my
barely
time.
did.
Yeah, it wasn't
you
very
guys kinda-
common.
We did
I think
one.
you kind of started. I feel
Yeah.
like
We kind of did. In
Actually-
my freshman year, Footsum went to
Iowa State,
no, I want to say Indiana.
Indiana. Okay,
That was the
There used to
meet
be
that existed.
Indiana. You're right.
And he went and ran 13:37 or something, which was bonkers back then.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. The week after NCAA's, and everyone was like, "What?
Yeah.
That counts? He qualifies for nationals?"
Yeah, I was like, what are these people doing? Like, aren't you meant to
Yeah.
be taking a break right now?
Yeah, because we always took I'd
Yeah.
go home after NCAs and just take a week off.
And then we went to Montana State once, which was
That sounds tough.
miserable.
Wow.
Flat track conversion and altitude
I
conversion.
remember that.
And T-Day ran.
That's like a minute.
T-Day ran
conversion.
amazing. Or 40. I think he ran 14:10, and it converted to 13:30 flat. I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
That's silly.
How do you even
Something
convert
silly.
that?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that was a terrible idea.
Yeah.
And
That's actually, one.
now it's BU.
Yeah, I was gonna say, one thing with BU being BU is the conversions there's a lot less conversions now. I guess the BYU guys didn't
Mhm.
they run some crazy ones last year?
It's always in the
Who are you?
mile.
Nico Young.
See,
Nico Young.
340.
yeah, like I feel like the
Sorry.
mile is still,
I lied.
347.
forgot about
but
that
but mainly
one.
in the mile, I think,
Yeah.
because like
Yeah.
CU we'd always run the mile. NAU would have their dome mile. I feel like BYU would run.
Some of the good Wisconsin guys, like right before my time, would do it on our shitty track, 200 flat, and get the conversion.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was when you were trying to run 755. Like you were trying to get it converted to 755, so you could run 8:10 and qualify for
Mhm.
nationals. It was
You got
like
15 seconds.
that
Or,
was maybe an
roughly,
exaggeration. Maybe
but-
10. I think flat 200, maybe 10.
I know CU in the 3K I think is around 14,
Really?
12.
That's pretty
I think I ran
nice.
801 and it was like 749.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't even know what the times this year are just it's gonna be like 740 for the 3K, which is
Well, the crazy thing I looked at last year was all my college PRs wouldn't make indoor nationals in
Yeah.
any event.
yeah, it's same. I think
Yeah.
pretty much. I don't even know if I ran 742. I think my last year. That's like
I think you'd
might
be
not qualify this year.
Yeah, I was 48, so I was not even close.
not even
Yeah. 1330, I think. Not
Well,
even
it's like
close.
I was talking to someone, and they were talking about some kid went and ran a 754 at BU, and I was just like thinking, I was like, that just means like unfortunately, not to be mean, like right now that just means that's just not that impressive.
Yeah.
But literally, I think my freshman year, like my first year I did indoors, I think it was 753 was the qualifying time.
I remember my freshman year, I ran 759. And I was like, oh, if I have like a good race, next time, like maybe I can get close to qualifying. And then I ran like probably 805 or something. But
7 something just sounded good.
oh,
back
it was
then.
crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
holy cow.
Yeah,
They used to go. Yeah, it used to be Iowa State.
Iowa State. Yeah.
Iowa State.
I raced
7
Footsum there one
Yeah.
year in the 3K.
and Andy, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or maybe that was the next
That was
year.
a separate one. Yeah,
You run 750, and that was freaking insane.
Yeah.
it was. But yeah, we'll see how now. I guess now everyone gets to take a break, and then everyone will come back through January, and that's when the real indoor season will kick off. That's when some of our team will start racing indoors, and yeah, these college kids are just scary though, man. I guess Nico and a bunch of the rest of them were scary last year as well. I guess the top ones are always pretty scary how good they are. But yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how things progress. And the one benefit for us with Graham Blanks going pro means that he'll probably be lining up in the 10K with us in March. So, I mean, when you're trying to run 27 minutes, as many people as you can trying to do the same thing and in similar shape makes actually like a difference, makes it better. So I'm excited for hopefully that to go down, even though I have no idea if that'll actually happen or not.
I hope it. Last year was a sweet one with like a bunch of people racing to run 26:50 something,
Mm-hmm.
as opposed to 26:30 record attempt,
Yeah.
which was also crazy. But
Yeah, I don't know if that'll happen again for a while. I
Yeah.
think you almost need, like, when he ran 26, when Grant and Mo ran low 26:30s, I think Woody paced them to 8 or 9K.
oh yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
if our team would be the team to maybe try and do that, and for us, that's
Yeah. Getting like another world-class runner
Crazy.
who could, almost run it themselves to pace it.
yeah.
But also you wonder too, like, is that even necessary to compete on the world stage? Like,
You don't need to do it. It'd just be cool to
I mean,
do.
like obviously
Apparently it's not.
Mo and Grant
I mean,
ran
the
that,
fit-
and now they're like medalists and all, and they were medalists. But
they
yeah.
medaled the year they didn't run.
yeah, like
that
look at
fast, though.
Graham Blanks was in the world final in the 5K, and he hadn't broken 13. So it's like,
It's true.
Yeah.
It's not necessary. I mean, even if you take it a step back, like, I was always found it crazy that Mo Farah never tried to run fast.
yeah, or even Galen ran 26:40 some, but
He kind of went for it. But
Yeah. in the 5K I think he only ran 12:57.
yeah,
Like
something. in
you would
the
think he would run.
1250s.
Yeah, you would think he'd run way faster.
Compared to what? Yeah, there's people run now. It's like it is weird to look at.
Only 7:30 for 3K too indoor. Like now college kids are doing that.
Is that what his 3K time?
Yeah.
is?
It was the American record I think
when he went on
before
that tear?
Yared broke it. Yeah, 7:30, and I think Ethan and
Wait,
Parker's times are faster than what his was.
I only
Mhm.
just put that together that they were 2 seconds off the American record,
Yeah,
or less than 2 seconds, maybe.
yeah.
That's crazy.
American indoor because outdoor Grant ran
Like
like
25.
25. Yeah,
Still,
That's
that's
wild.
unreal. So moving on to some slightly random news. Morgan Pearson won his was it a half Ironman?
Half Ironman, yeah, in Indian Wells, California, somewhere. Palm Springs.
Palm Springs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did how was
Tune
his
up. A little
and-
tune up for
How was his-
Houston.
Matt Max second. His run was he ran 70 minutes for the half,
Yeah.
but
Quote on Instagram, shut it down to get ready for Houston.
Did he say
Yeah.
that? Yeah, he told me though going in, like the course was like on like golf course cart paths, like it wasn't a good fast
Wasn't
course.
fast.
So he was like, if I can run like 5:10 pace, I'm gonna be like flying.
Yeah.
I think he was
So,
about 2 minutes faster than anyone else.
yeah, I know
Still.
he put like 2 minutes on Matt, who quote hasn't been running that much. But
Both of them on
What's the
Instagram.
quote?
But that was a sweet race, like just to see
Yeah.
those guys go 1-2. That was like cool to see because Morgan Pearson's been doing a lot of training with us, just on hopping in Sunday workouts.
Now
I was wondering
now
why
he
he
can
wasn't
fully
there.
focus.
Yeah,
I actually was like on the weekend. I was like, "Where's Morgan Pearson?"
yeah.
Makes sense now.
He wanted to be there for sure.
Yeah.
Probably would have rather been at the workout.
Yeah.
Was that a big race that
Yeah.
he did?
So I was trying to like get a sense of how big it was, and I think it's like big because it's in the Ironman series, but I don't know like how many really top guys show up. I went on the website of Ironman and there's like 100 Ironman races. So I was like,
I want to say it's not because half Ironman world champs
right.
is literally this weekend.
That's what Morgan's or that. Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
said was.
in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's not as
Cool.
big because the world champs.
So
But this qualifies him, I
maybe
think, for the world champs next year. So he has that option to run it now
Cool.
That
if
makes
he wants,
sense.
or swim bike run.
Very cool. And another massive race that, I mean, not that we really paid that much attention to this, but NXN was this weekend as well. Dathan was out there cheering on his daughter, Addie, who I think ended up fifth.
Fifth.
It was just crazy racing out there. It was everyone in high school is also just like similar to how the college kids are all too good. These high schools are all clearly way too good now because the girl who won, and I'm not going to know anyone's names, apologies. She won by 40 seconds and just beast moded.
And I saw maybe broke Caitlin Tuohy's record.
Yeah, she broke the record.
So like that's pretty.
That's
pretty
pretty legit.
legit.
Yeah, it's legit.
And it was like pouring rain and mud,
Yeah.
which
And then also on the men's side, the
we had
team
Niwat.
brought it home.
Yeah, which I like. We didn't really pay attention. So I'm
No,
like,
I don't know anyone on their team, but we're honored to use their track.
yeah.
Honored to share the track with them.
I looked at the video of them after the race. Like it came up on like, I don't know, YouTube or something, and I just saw it, and they all look like carbon copies of each other. I was very impressed at how similar they are. Just like little distance runner boys. I'm like,
Yeah.
good job, guys. Well done. Thank you for having a nice track that we can use.
Yeah.
But it is a historic
what was your best
program.
NXN finish?
I honestly was going to look. I think it was slower than what the top woman ran.
No,
She ran 16:30. No, was
I
it?
didn't break
think so.
16. Yeah. I was like 60th maybe,
Yeah.
but
Well, yeah, actually,
it worked out.
the men's winning time was only 15:30. So it's a tough course, right?
That's crazy. 15:30?
Yeah.
It's like kind of that's close, like the men's and the women's. Like
yeah,
1 minute
I
is
think it was, unless I'm mistaken. I think it's
Yeah.
15:30 and 16:30. So
I know Carlos beat me there. He always had that over me.
really,
Yeah.
yeah. Does
I only asked that to just if anyone's listening and didn't win NXN.
Yeah. Well, no, and who was right
you're
around
gonna
me?
do-
I think Tyler Day was like right around me,
Mhm.
which was always funny when we got to college. Was like, we're obviously doing very well, and then we were like 60th at NXN. He might have been higher than that. I might be just totally slandering him, but he didn't win.
does Foot Locker still exist?
It's a good question.
I believe it does.
We'll find
but-
out this next weekend probably or something.
Yeah.
And
We'll see.
surprise, that girl's going to BYU, so they're just going to get.
Oh yeah,
It just seems like NXN is the only one I hear about these days.
yeah. They're definitely kind of done a good job at. I mean, the model that they have with the team.
It's the
thing of
team
it
aspect is
cool.
so huge.
It's cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But I think it's time to do a bit more of a deep dive on Joe, everything Joe. First thing written down on the notes is a pizza update. You made a return.
Oh.
Is this true?
Yeah. So I'd been away from pizza for a while, just struggling to really get back into it. And thanks to Tom Wang, he really pep talked
He
me.
pushed you.
He pushed me back into it, and I made some pizza the other day, and I swear it was like the best pizza I've ever made. And Tom Wang also got a pizza oven, so I told him I'm going to mail him some dough.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do you use 00?
yeah, Caputo.
Where do you get your flour from?
I get it on Amazon, but I think it's from Italy. Yeah,
Probably sounds like
I've tried like
Just
multiple flours, and that one's the best. And all these pizza people, they'll comment on my posts and they'll say, "Oh, good job using Caputo."
Yeah,
So
it's known.
yeah,
in
it's
the industry.
known. Yeah.
Nice. Is it expensive or is it?
No, it's not expensive.
Yeah,
Just the you
Normal
can't get
flour.
it at like Whole Foods, I don't think, and stuff. But
yeah, it's too special for that.
yeah,
But onto the running. So last year, you raced the 10K and then unfortunately came down with an injury that sidelined you for the bulk of the track season, and you had to take a bit of time away. And then I guess the upside of that was that it allowed you to have a really nice, like, long gradual build up. And during that time, I'm not sure exactly when this decision was made, but you obviously started looking at doing the roads and you put Houston on the schedule. Someone asked me like why I was doing Houston, and then I said, "Oh, because Joe's doing it." And then I wasn't sure if did you want to do Houston first, or did Dathan want you to do Houston?
I kind of wanted to do a half, and like I was thinking Valencia just because it's such a fast race. And at the time, if it was in like the spring or in June, like I obviously wasn't going to go for the Olympics, so I wanted to like have something in the distance I could like look forward to and build towards that wasn't like too soon, like be like, oh, we're going to race in August or something. But Valencia felt like doable, but Dathan was like, no, it's like too soon. So I'm like, how do you like even know that's too soon? It's like 5 months away or something. But then he was like, yeah, we should do Houston, just easier travel. And like, you could go for the win there. Valencia, obviously, like, don't think I was going to be ready to run with Yomif this year. So I mean, then that's how we decided on Houston. It was kind of like, I wanted a good half marathon, and there's not too many options in the US, like for fast ones. So
Yeah.
Was putting something on the schedule, like, do you think that's been important for, like, what has been, like, a stretch of not racing and obviously not being able to go to the US trials and, like, go for another Olympic team? And, like, even just, like, mentally to get through those few months, like, really having something to look forward to?
yeah, I would say the biggest thing is it just gave like that whole time structure. Like when you just said I hadn't raced since March or whenever the 10 was, it's like, wow, that's crazy, because to me, it's felt like, okay, I had my period of like, off time of running, getting healthy, getting my legs under me. And then it was like just this progression of like, okay, now we need to like build up our mileage. Now we need to like get our long run back up to 20 miles. So it's been all these like milestones along the way that have like been building towards really the training we're doing now. That's kind of the final stretch into Houston half. So it's crazy to think I haven't raced since March. But yeah, having that like on the schedule, I think helped just give structure to what we were doing, because it was such a long period of time where if you're just building up, you're like, what are we building towards? What's the goal here? And having Houston on the schedule is nice because it's like, okay, like I can't quite do the speed work yet, but we can really work on like building my strength, and like the speed work's slowly going to come along as like my injury gets better and better. That's how I'd say it helped the most. I think for me, with nothing on the schedule, it just would have been easy to want to like push it just to be like, okay, like let's get back with the guys. And it's like, well, it doesn't really make sense. Like I have a half marathon. Let's just get really strong and focus on that.
Yeah. And it resulted in a very beautiful Strava graph.
Yeah, it's been nice.
You're a nice little, it's just a beautiful slope, just of consistent, nice training,
Yeah.
which we love to see. Do you think it's crazy that the half marathon record for the US is what it is and hasn't been broken since Super Shoes?
Yeah, I think it is a bit wild that, I mean, it stood for so long, and that record when it was set, I'm sure it was just out of this world, and 59:43 is still like so fast. So it makes sense that it's like stood for as long as it has, but yeah, certainly since Super Shoes, you would have thought like with a lot of the good like 10K runners we have in the US right now and the good marathoners that we have in the US, like 2 guys in the top 10 at the Olympics, you think someone would go and get it?
Did Galen Rupp never try and run a quick half?
Or Galen, yeah, like guys Galen was a medalist in the marathon and like a medalist in the 10K. You like connect the dots and it's like, come on.
I want to say he didn't have a go.
Like at a fast one?
I know Dathan ran 60 flat, but it was at a non-eligible, like Great North Run.
Yeah.
But
or
Houston,
even world champs, he ran 60 flat too,
Right.
I think.
Yeah. But like Houston's always been fast. You think like 1 year he'd be like, I'm not gonna do indoor. I'm just gonna go run a fast half.
Yeah. What year? Do you know what year the record is from?
I don't, but
Right.
it's I think it's over 20. I think it's around like maybe right at 20 years or something.
Oh,
Early 2000s.
it wouldn't be quite that long. Well, it's
Really?
Ryan Hall, right?
Yeah.
And he was in college.
Oh, he was with Dathan, so he definitely didn't set it when he was 20 years old. 'Cause
Yeah.
Dathan's like 40,
Yeah.
so maybe like closer to
15,
15.
10.
But either way, like well pre-super shoes.
Yeah. Well, which is crazy to think about as well.
Yeah.
Like he must have been. I wonder what the world record was back then. I bet you the world record was like 59 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Like he was probably way closer to the world record. But
It's true.
yeah, you would think that in the half marathon, the super shoes are making a pretty big difference.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the times in every like Australian records now under
Yeah.
60, and like all these records are going down.
Yeah.
2007.
2007. Okay, so that is 15.
Coming up on 20.
18,
That is
coming up on
almost
20. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, he was a beast at the roads real quick
Yeah.
after
Dude.
college.
The shoes he was running in too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to run 13 miles in those shoes. Like
His
that hurt.
feet and calves must have been beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, Houston was where the record was set, and that is where Joe and I will be competing in January. And it does look like we don't know the full. We often talk about it. We don't know like the full field or anything like that. However, we do know a couple of the big names, and probably the main one is Connor Mance from the American perspective.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick having him in the race.
Do
Yeah.
you think he heard that? Was it literally that he heard that you guys were going for it? So
Well-
he was like didn't want to miss out.
Yeah, from what I heard was, he heard like that we might be like trying to target the record, and I think just didn't want to miss out. But I'm still not like, from what I get, I'm not 100% if he's racing. I mean he just ran a marathon, so he probably wants to see how his body comes off it.
Yeah.
But
How's his Strava been looking?
pretty good. I mean, like always, so he's probably fine. But yeah, I think that doesn't want to get in over his head if he's not ready. But
yeah, I feel like the half marathon's another event where having the competition there. I mean, maybe when you're on the road some days and you're feeling good, you can just take off and like
your
run
Meef.
really quick solo. Yeah, but I think probably for your first time, running in a pack will feel a lot more comfortable.
in a pack of like guys who I would say are all like on the roads, like you haven't run a half, I haven't run a half.
Mhm.
Connor's run a few, but definitely never targeted maybe this time.
Yeah.
So we're all a little bit like, don't know how we're going to feel, but we
Yeah.
all want to like push it because we're like,
Will there be a pacer?
yeah, apparently they're going to pace it at 59:40 is what I heard.
Yeah.
So
It's pretty quick.
yeah, hopefully we can just
Send it.
just send it and feel good.
I would, even if like, I mean, I'm not putting like a time goal on it, but I feel like I would want to go out with the pace pack, like the front pack. Even if I'm not sure I'm capable of it, I'd just rather than running my own.
Yeah, well, even when I talked to Dathan about it, his goal for the race, like I think it's more me wanting to like see if I can go after that record. For him, he's like, if we just go in there and try and win the race, like it's going to be a good time.
It's a good mentality.
I don't think he's as like concerned about like, all right, we need to go for this record. Like I don't think he really cares.
Well, also you'll probably have many half marathons
Yeah,
ahead of you as well.
but I just think that if they set up the race in a way that it's going to take 59 something to win,
There's a good chance.
it'd just be a really fun race.
Yeah. And speaking of the training specifically, it has been interesting for you because you did have a period of time where you linked up with Hellen for a bit and you had Keita here to help out as well. But how have you felt like this fall training has been different from others, and have you liked it more?
Yeah, I think that one of the biggest differences, the buildup has been so slow. Like, it was like 90 miles or like 70 miles, 73, 76, just really slow increase, which felt like at the time unnecessary. But like looking back, it's like, wow, that's really set like a foundation for just being super healthy. And then, when I got to start linking up with Hellen and Keita, Hellen was obviously getting ready for New York when I was training with her. And so that was cool just to like,
She was pretty fit.
she was pretty fit and like, so you had to be on your game to like train with her. So I really liked that. It was nice just like after being away from it for so long, workouts, like it was like 5 months of like no workouts, or maybe not that quite much, but it was a lot. And so to have like a little training group was kind of fun, like with Keita and Hellen, pushing her to hope, go for the win in New York. And she did very well. Gave it a lot of meaning too, versus just like, oh, nice, I'm training with Hellen and Keita. It's like we're all training towards like certain goals.
Yeah.
So that made it really fun. But no, overall the training's been like really nice. Just the thing I've liked most is the slow increase. Just since basically August
Mm-hmm.
to where we are now running. I think we both just hit our biggest weeks of our lives.
Yeah, probably. What was yours? Like 115?
113, I think.
13. Yeah. I mean, the training is really not. It's the same training we do every year in the fall. It's just like some slight adjustments, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say.
And the adjustments is extra.
Extra.
Well,
generally it's more.
Generally more, but a progression.
Because it's like, okay, the fartleks, I think, that we have always done are actually the best workout, like specific. I think they're the best workout for like a half marathon, honestly. I think that just how hard they are is, and like, I don't know, if you were to get a similar difficulty on the track, you'd be doing such a big track workout that it wouldn't almost be worth it.
Yeah, it'd be such.
And running threshold just doesn't seem like it gets you close enough to that.
Yeah.
And then
that pace.
That's the difference in the threshold. Like, we've added more volume to our threshold workouts, but like we're still not even, like we're still doing the same volume that like Mike Smith's guys do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, we'll do like 12 miles where for me and you in the past, 8, maybe 10 miles. So like that's an increase.
But like even if we weren't doing a half and you were looking for progression, you probably would have wanted to progress up to 12 miles of threshold work anyway if you were just a good, like just focusing on the track even.
And then one of the other differences now, like we're doing a lot of the same fartleks we normally do. And instead of just trying to like push them harder than in years past and run faster, Dathan's added tempos onto the end of them. So like we'll do a 50-minute fartlek with the whole team, which is amazing because we're all trained together. But then Morgan and I are lucky enough to add on like maybe it's 1 times 20 minutes or 2 times 10 minutes tempo.
Fun.
So it just makes it a long morning, but like just a nice progression.
Our long runs, one thing that we've done this every year, but specifically this year, every second week for our long runs has been the uphill, the canyon climb that we do. And I think everyone on the team really likes that one. So the fact that we're doing more of it, we've enjoyed as well. But that's not even specific to us. I think that's just for the team in general.
Yeah. I think that's been the best too, with just being like healthy. Like it's so different. You're just like strengthening your legs and just getting so strong without having to like, again, go on the track and just run really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like the less impact in the last 6 miles makes such a difference on your legs.
Yeah.
Like you can push hard and feel way like just like safer.
Yeah, because usually those like the first like maybe 10 miles will be like kind of just zone 2. And then the last like normal. 8 to 10 is really like a low threshold. Like, so.
Depending who you are. A high threshold something.
Yeah, depending.
There's no limit to how hard you can push that if you want to.
You can push it pretty hard.
But it's a way that, again, that I think we're getting in more threshold work that's not necessarily like.
It's not as taxing on the body.
Not as taxing, and we're not like saying, okay, this is a threshold session. It's like we're just doing our long run up the hill.
Yeah, and it feels good.
A lot of different ways to work that system too. Like, what is that up the canyon? Maybe 5 somethings.
540.
Yeah. Which is maybe like.
And my watch says grade adjusted pace for that is like around 5 minutes, which is like.
Yeah. So you can either do like flat miles down the bottom or run up the canyon, and that's actually maybe like targeting a very similar system.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool thing. We're very lucky to have a canyon to run up. Kai was like I think Dathan changed it to a steady long run, but initially he thought that he was going to have to do like a hill climb long run in Australia. And he was like, there's no hills there. There's no mountains. What am I going to do?
Yeah. It is crazy to think that we're not even like scratching the surface on that hill. Like like when we're biking, you could just climb for like 20 miles uphill.
We're not even halfway up that hill.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Yeah. I don't think the human body would let you run up that much further.
Oh, apparently, I think I was talking to Paul Stafford, a CU runner, former runner, and he was doing the hill climbs. And I don't know if he like misinterpreted what I was saying, but I think he starts
at the bottom,
at the bottom of the canyon and does like 17 miles up. But he just ran an amazing like 15K race in Netherlands. Like he's obviously working.
It worked.
Maybe we should be doing that.
Yeah.
For those at home, we only do like the last 3 to 6 miles generally of our run actually up the canyon. The rest of it is still a hilly long run, but it's on the more flat part.
Yeah.
So it's a bit more controlled. But yeah. And then,
I was trying to think of a hill I have at home. Actually, it's not even I think of a hill. It's the getting someone to pick me up.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a logistical challenge. But then, so we have Houston on the schedule mid-January. Do you know what you'll be doing for the rest of the year?
Yeah. Not the whole year, but I'm trying to convince Dathan. I know maybe you're similar. If the body feels good, just hop into BU 5K because it's fun. But I'm not like planning on it. It's just
Yeah.
like if I feel good and I want to do it,
Out.
I'm going to do it. And then early March is the U.S. Half Marathon Championship, which I wasn't originally going to do, but I found out that that's the selection event for the World Road Running Championship. And so if you get top 3 there, you get selected. And I want to just have that as an option to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go run that. I think it's in Atlanta. Don't know anything about the course. I'm assuming it's not fast like Houston, but I'll do that in early March.
It's probably pretty tough if it's in Atlanta. Isn't that where the
Trials were.
Peach-
Yeah. The trials was very tough.
Yeah, and the trials.
Yeah. Wait,
and-
Peachtree, is that Atlanta too?
I thought that was the big
Yeah,
10K
yeah.
in
Yeah, I
Atlanta.
think you're right.
And they're known to be like hard races.
Yeah. So probably will be like a hard race, but it should be fun. And hopefully a lot of the top U.S. guys come out for that and want to make that team because the Worlds are in San Diego this year. So it's a
that'd be
very
sick.
easy. I know
Is
Morgan
it?
had a great experience at World Road Running. So
Is it? I think more than 3 people can do the
4.
half. Oh, it's
so
4?
apparently I think
Really?
the 4th one is like maybe discretionary or chosen off ranking or something.
Oh, okay. That makes
But
sense.
I just think it'd be fun to like go qualify. I mean, in that time of year, I'm not doing much anyway. And so, yeah, I'll do that. And then sound running is, I think, 4 weeks later. So I think kind of like we were saying with the cross country training being amazing for the track, kind of half marathon training
For the 10K?
for the 10K and 5K should be good. And then after that, I'll go into like track season outdoor.
Nice. It's very exciting. Very exciting.
That's a nice build up right there.
It's like one race a month too. It's like kind of nice.
Yeah, I think it's like easy to when you're not doing a full indoor season, it takes a lot of the pressure off. You know what I mean? Like if you are trying to do, let's say hypothetically, you're trying to do World Indoors this year, then you have to stress about running really quick 3K in January or February, I guess latest, and then you want to do like Milrose, like all this. You just kind of come back after the Christmas time, and you're like, all right, shit, it's time to go.
Yeah, that's how I felt last year. Was like we got back from Christmas, and then it was just like, all right, BU in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
like
we were racing
Milrose-
in January,
Milrose
trying to
and,
break
like,
13. It's like,
Like Milrose is right when I kind of started getting injured, and it was like, yeah, I definitely shouldn't have done that race, but you're just in the thick of it, and you're feeling like, okay, this was the plan. Like we got to do it, you know.
We keep doing that early BU. Maybe we need to do that. We need to do the next one.
Do the late one.
Yeah,
I think I like that a bit more. But yeah, this plan I think will be a much more just a nice, more like a gradual way to move through those months and bridge the gap between the training that we're doing now and a track season in spring.
Yeah.
So that's how I'm looking at it as well.
Yeah.
Very similar.
Yeah, whether Houston goes how we plan or not, I'm like, this training block has been amazing, and we've definitely made a lot of progress there. So
yeah,
the race is what it is.
It is what it is. It's been a lot of
And
fun.
it'll be such a long time to build up for outdoor USAs too. Off the back of either a couple half marathons and a 10K, but USAs aren't till
Yeah,
August.
how late is it?
I
It's
think
in
I
August.
think it's in August, yeah.
That must be the first time it's ever been in August, right?
I wonder when Worlds were in Doha.
maybe Doha.
It's probably also pretty late, but it might have been July, like end of July. I'm not sure.
I feel like it was still, kind of early. When it was in Doha, it was so weird because, I think it was not. Now it's normal that it's going to be late, but that was like the first time it'd been late in so long. And I got to race Fifth Ave, and it was like a month before.
Yeah,
I wonder if are they going to start doing that now? They might have to
probably.
because they probably don't change their date.
Yeah,
It means pre is also like 2 months later. So
Yeah.
pre is in like July instead of May.
wow.
Isn't
I
it
think.
so cool that the calendars for like the Diamond League is like so much more consistent now, kind of like it's just like throughout the year rather than having like this big gap
Yeah.
like for all the national championships.
Yeah.
And, like, they squeeze it in on either side, like around.
And like depending when your nationals are, it's like, oh, I can't do this one, can't do this one, can't do this one. That was always annoying with U.S.
And
trials.
It's gonna be cool to have the Diamond League final before the World Champs as well.
I think it'll be interesting to show, like, I think people will still show out at the Diamond League final and then go to Worlds and still do amazing, you know?
Yeah, as they should,
Yeah.
as opposed to how it has been in previous years where people don't show up.
Yeah.
So that'll be sick. It'll be very cool. Well, I think we've had a lovely chat. Is there anything else you'd like to share with the listeners out there?
No, just
How you
looking forward to 25.
How you feeling about the Vikings the Viking season so far?
Man, surprised. Like it's been a good year. I expect nothing every week, and I'm happy most weeks. So
That's so wise.
yeah,
Did you see the white chick celebration that they did?
yeah, dude. Their celebrations have been great.
Let me
They've
crush
been
it.
pretty funny across the whole NFL. Though they've been very fun to watch.
Amazing, amazing. Well, Joe, thank you so much for coming on today once again.
Yep, number 6, 7, 5,
Whatever it
one of
was.
those.
And
Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, next quarter.
thank you so much, everyone, for listening. This has been episode 164 of the Coffee Cup Podcast, and we look forward to seeing you all again next week.
Boys
See ya.
from Coffee Club.